Hi everyone, Corrie coming in to do my vlog for the week of August the 16th, following all the way through till the following Sunday. This one is truly about getting straight, and I find myself not being able to get straight in my chair. My whole body feels like it's out of whack. I had to move my chair 3 times before I could even feel somewhat comfortable. But the uncomfortable is where I need to be. It's where we all need to be when we're trying to balance ourselves, is that when we're so used to leaning into one side more than the other side, whether it's our masculine side or feminine side, or into one version of a story and not wanting to hear anything else, is that once we have to move into the other energy a little bit to make some shifts, then we feel uncomfortable. We feel like that fish out of water. And so the energy that's coming up for me is that when we can truly allow ourselves to step into, to shift enough that it feels like we're off balance and we're a little bit uncomfortable, then that's the sense of finally being willing to release. And that's the card that's coming up, is that we have to be willing to release some of the old stories, the old habits, the old behaviors, in order to be able to plant new seeds. And that new seeds is the sense of, how do we get closer to joy and happiness? How do we get closer to unity? How do we get closer to cooperating, to great communication, to live in a healthier life? If we're not willing, if we're unwilling to listen, if we're unwilling to engage in a conversation, if we're unwilling to just creep over a little bit and to listen, to lean into somebody else's life, somebody else's story, and hear the whys, to hear what that journey is. And so you don't know somebody's pain. You'll never know anyone's pain. Even if you've lived similar stories, you will not know, because you are not that person and you're not walking in their shoes. So it's not about telling people how they should live their lives or how we should be, or this would be best for everybody. We don't know what's best for everybody. And so grand symphony is what comes up. And it is to just understand and know that, you know, the seeds are planted and some stories are rooted and grounded, and we can't push and pull people out of the story that they need to go through to process, including grief. There is no time limit on somebody's story of grief. When you go through a loss that changes everything, there's no such thing as going back, and we can never return. But new branches, new life, new opportunities can arise when we truly start to lean into, when other people start to lean in and say, I would like to hear your story, not telling us how we should live through our story or how we should get through, but to help each other to clear away old stories, old energies, so that we got the space to breathe through what we need to deal with right now. Where are we right now? What are we facing right now? Because what's coming up for me, and I've been hearing this for weeks, and it just keeps saying, I am who I am today. I'm not the past. I'm not my ancestors. I'm from a long line of amazing healers and generational healing and the strong, powerful women. And as much as I love to hear their stories, and as much as I'm honored to be Mi'kmaq First Nations, and as much as I'm honored to be still as much of my English, Irish, European ancestry, I'm not any of that. I am a well mixed. And as my little neighbor girl said to me, she says, you're like me. And I said, what's that? And she said, you're a mutt. From the eyes and ears and mouth of children. They lean into the story. They see it the way that it kind of is, that relates to them. She was referring to, we are like our animals, and we have this sense of claiming that purebred title, and I'm this, and this is what they are, and look at, you know, this is what my dog is, and it's the best, and there's nobody like it, and there's nothing like it. And then she's like, yeah, she says, well, but you know, then there's me and you. We're just like these average everyday people, and we're just us. And it was so true. There is such a powerful movement when we all start to accept who we are today, and we stop trying to force people to be where we are. We stop trying to force people to have our views, and we stop trying to force people out of their pain. We guide people, we hold space so that we can shift and move from the misery, so that we can clear the clutter from so many stories of the past. And we help, it's like cleaning up the beach. We help clean up the clutter so that we can truly sit and embrace and to be in our peace with, be in our quiet space, be in that peaceful moment of being able to acknowledge your own story, acknowledge where you are right now in this moment. And it doesn't come with further destruction. And so I feel as if there's a sense that it's your move. We all have to take a move into the other person's story. We all have to take that move, that action step into compassion is action, into having compassion for where people are and why they are there. And we have to be willing to release, surrender, and let go, because we're not going to get ahead. We are not going to get ahead by living in the past. We're not going to get ahead by blaming each other. We are not going to get ahead by staying divided. It is about unity. We need to come together. And this is a time of coming together. And when we do, watch and see the beautiful, endless possibilities, the beautiful opportunities that start to show up for us as a collective, as a world that can coexist together. And this way we all start to shine, our lights start to shine, and we can be something within our own world, and we can be something for somebody else. We can be a support. We can be a cheerleader. We can just hold the space, but we can be, if we just lean in and just listen, not have an opinion, not have a judgment thought, not have a need to take actions that are so freaking out there and unhealthy. Let's start leaning in. And this is how we return to balance, by moving into a little bit, something that may feel a little bit uncomfortable. And that message is ringing through for me. And when we allow this, we start to be the change. And so many things that we learn from the eyes, the ears of children, but we got to let children get back to being children. We got to let children enjoy the joys of life. And we have to be a collective. Birds of the feather flock together. What kind of person do you want to be as we move forward? How do you want to show up? I know I want to flock together with people, no matter what they look like, no matter where they're from. I want to be in a world where I can flock together with people who are willing to grow, to thrive, inspire, influence from love, from light, from a healthy view, from being okay with engaging in healthy conversations and knowing that we don't have to all fully agree, and we're not here to have the one same view, opinion, and we're not here to all follow one view. We are here to expand, and we're here to grow. And I love spending time with children. If you want to learn a little bit more about life, spend time with children. But it's time for us to let children get back to doing what they do best, being the immature ones. And we need to grow up this week. And we need to start emotionally. And I don't mean we're not grown-ups, don't get me wrong, but we're emotionally not there. And we need to truly start stepping up and stepping out and being an inspiration and a healthy influence for the kids so that they can go back and play, and let them play and not be the ones who's got to step up because we're not doing the job. Much love to you all. And I hope in some way this resonates with you for the week of August the 16th. And that you're willing to actually just be willing to accept the blessing that we are all just beautiful creatures that are here to blossom, to grow. And there's always going to be a prick in the bunch. I'm sorry, but there's a prick everywhere. We can't let that energy be the things that get to take over the world. Tyrants happen because we have immaturity. Narcissism happens because someone who still has a child mentality story that's still there running the show is still trying to control everything around. Truth. So once we can start to emotionally mature, once we can recognize we can't fix all the pricks, but we sure can have a whole world that's full of so many beautiful lights and so many beautiful things. Start seeking and searching to flock together in that energy. Shift your energy a little bit. Be willing to sit in the uncomfortable, even if you don't fully agree, but at least you've listened, and at least then you've heard somebody else's view, and then you can come together and understand that you can still respect each other, love each other, and be there for each other. Let's start to be the change we want to see in the world. Mwah. Don't be one of the pricks. I love you all. Bye-bye.